God's advice today. Have you ever felt that God is trying to speak to you, yet in the busyness of life, His signs go unnoticed? This message invites you to pause, reflect, and open your heart. Perhaps this is exactly what you needed to hear today. Watch until the end with openness, and if these words touch you, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell to receive more messages like this. Don't forget to check the pinned comment for a 1-minute prayer and a recommended message to help strengthen your faith even more. God said, "My beloved son, listen to my voice that calls you today with tenderness, not as a distant judge, but as the Father who kept you when no one imagined you would survive certain nights. I know the exact place where your strength broke, where your soul screamed in silence, where your tears fell with no witnesses, and even before any pain reached you, I had already prepared a greater plan, because, and surely I am with you always, to the very end of the age." Matthew chapter 28 verse 20. Nothing on your path happened by chance, and this moment that opens before you is the entrance to a season that I myself have watered with my own hands. What seemed barren will begin to blossom, what seemed lost will be found again with honor, and what seemed asleep will be awakened by the power of my Spirit, because within you there is a living promise that time cannot erase. Do you feel that you are ready for a profound change in your life and in the lives of those you love? Sometimes, all we need is a small step of faith to open the doors of abundance, peace, and blessings that God has already reserved for us. A simple 1-minute prayer can be the beginning of a spiritual journey that transforms the inside and reflects on the outside. If you desire to attract more light, balance, and prosperity, spiritual and material, click the link in the first comment. There you will find a simple practice, guided with love, that can help you connect more deeply with the divine presence in your life. Today I invade your heart to remind you that not a single second of your story escaped my sight, no battle went unnoticed, no cry was ignored, and even if the world tried to convince you that you were alone, I never left. I held you when you thought you would fall, I illuminated you when everything looked dark. And now I lead you into a phase where your faith will flourish so greatly that even you will be surprised by what I am about to reveal. Whisper in your heart, "I belong to God, and nothing can change that." Son, there are movements happening in your story that you still do not perceive, but they are already changing everything in your spiritual atmosphere. The winds that once blew against you now begin to blow in your favor, because what wounded you was allowed only to reposition you. Many looked at your silence and thought it was surrender, but I saw only a ground being prepared for revelation. You thought you were being broken, but you were being shaped. You thought you were being discredited, but you were being hidden so you would not be destroyed too soon. I know the weight of the questions you carried, the whys that echoed inside you, but none of them were forgotten. Every doubt became a seed that now sprouts into understanding. You do not walk alone. I guide you in steps you still do not understand, but that will lead you exactly to the place I prepared for you. Say, even without understanding, I trust in God's plans. My son, what once looked like an unbreakable wall before you now begins, silently, to move. Not because your strength changed, but because my time has come, and when my time arrives, nothing remains the same. Remember what I said, I am the Lord, the God of all mankind. Is anything too hard for me? Jeremiah chapter 32 verse 27. Every tear that fell from your face in silent nights was collected before me as a precious offering, and none of them fell to the ground without purpose. I saw when your hope faltered, when fear squeezed your chest so tightly that it seemed to steal your breath, when you felt too small to continue. But son, faith does not need to be huge to produce a miracle, it only needs to be alive, and yours, even fragile, never died. Today I breathe upon what remained, rekindling the fire that exhaustion tried to extinguish. The storm that surrounded you will become the very stage of my manifestation. Where they said it would be the end, I prepare a new beginning so intense, so glorious, so unexpected, that even those who doubted will have to acknowledge, it was my hand that lifted you, my voice that guided you, and my love that sustained you. Say, every challenge brings growth. I believe in my future. I know, son, that there are days when you look around and everything feels too tight, too heavy, too silent. Moments when the soul gets tired, the body weakens, and the mind begs for rest, as if you were carrying more than you can bear. I saw each of those moments, even the ones you tried to hide so you wouldn't worry anyone. I saw when you swallowed your tears to avoid falling apart. I saw when you smiled on the outside while bleeding on the inside. I saw when you thought you had no more strength and still decided to continue. And that choice to continue, my son, moves heaven. It was not in vain. Every trembling step brought you exactly to the perfect point where my intervention becomes inevitable. When you thought I was silent, I was simply building what could not be seen until it was complete. Today I tell you, now begins the manifestation. Now, what was hidden will appear. Now, what seemed unmoving will begin to transform before your eyes. Nothing you lived will be wasted. Everything will be used to lift you. What was once pain will become testimony. What was once weight will now become strength. Did you know that there is an effective method to attract greater financial prosperity? This technique can help transform your deep-seated beliefs and change the way you perceive reality. It had a profound impact on my life, and we would like to invite you to explore this special practice. When we trust that God wants to act in our lives, we gain the courage to ask Him directly. God desires to bless each of us in a unique and wonderful way. That's why it's important to seek His blessings with faith and confidence, believing that He has a special plan for you. If you would like to support our work and the team dedicated to bringing content that inspires and transforms, we invite you to check out our product. The link is available in the first comment, so you can discover how this technique can also help you on your journey. Your contribution helps us continue sharing messages that make a difference. We deeply appreciate your trust and support. My son, keep this deeply within your heart. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Psalm 23 verse 4. Many never perceived the internal battles you fought, because you fought them in silence, without witnesses, without applause, without anyone to understand what was truly happening inside you. But I saw them all. I was there when anxiety tightened your chest, when loneliness tried to wrap you like a cold cloak, when sadness attempted to dim the light I placed in your soul. I was there when you asked for strength in silence, when you bent your knees without having words, when your soul whispered prayers that even your mind could not formulate. And now I tell you, that valley did not bury you, it strengthened you. Those tears did not drown you, they purified you. That pain did not destroy you, it aligned you with the purpose I prepared for you from the beginning. Nothing was in vain. Everything worked together to shape the man you are becoming, someone deeper, wiser, more prepared to receive what once could not fit in your hands. Now you understand, son, I never left you. My child, you may not yet perceive it with your natural eyes, but doors are being prepared for you at this very moment, arranged with such precision that, when they open, you will know they were crafted by my own hands. Situations that took years to move, processes that seemed frozen, prayers that felt unanswered will begin to unfold in a matter of days, because when I command movement, nothing can remain still. People who once walked against you, who doubted your purpose, who underestimated your resilience, will witness your victory with their own eyes. I will not justify you with arguments or explanations. I will justify you with undeniable results. What I bring into your life will be so extraordinary that no one will be able to attribute it to coincidence, luck, or human effort. I am rearranging connections you believed were lost, restoring opportunities that seemed beyond recovery, and weaving together pieces of your story that were torn by time and pain. When the full scene opens before you, you will realize that everything you faced, even the wounds you never wanted, served a purpose in elevating you to the place I destined for you. Nothing was wasted, everything was alignment. My child, it is written, "He who began a good work in you will be faithful to complete it." Philippians 1 verse 6, and today I reaffirm this truth over your life with renewed strength. The work I began in you is not stagnant, delayed, or forgotten. It is advancing into its most beautiful and transformative phase. Every experience you endured, every tear you shed, every moment of silence that made you question your path has served a divine purpose. Nothing was wasted. The battles shaped your endurance, the waiting deepened your trust, the losses refined your discernment, and the disappointment softened your heart to receive greater things. What you walked through was not abandonment, it was preparation. What you suffered was not neglect, it was refinement. I was forming your character, sharpening your spirit, strengthening your faith, and drawing you closer to my heart. Now the pieces that once seemed scattered begin to align, and the paths that closed in the past reveal their purpose. You will see why certain doors needed to remain shut, why certain people had to leave, and why some seasons lasted longer than you expected. Your appointed time has arrived. I know there were moments when you believed nothing would ever change, when the weight pressed so heavily upon your shoulders that even taking a breath felt like an act of courage. I saw the nights when discouragement whispered that giving up might be easier, the days when everything seemed to resist your progress, and the moments when you felt surrounded by impossibilities. But I also saw something greater, the courage that remained in you even when strength was fading, the decision to keep moving forward even without clarity, the faith that flickered but never went out. That silent, hidden perseverance attracted miracles toward your path. This new season will not resemble the previous ones. It will be marked by restoration, honor, acceleration, and abundance. What once moved slowly will move quickly. What was stagnant will burst forth with life. What seemed delayed will arrive with divine precision. Everything that resisted you will begin to yield. I am lifting you, surprising you, and revealing that nothing was dead, it was simply gathering strength beneath the surface. Prepare yourself, what is coming is not accidental, not random, not temporary. It is the manifestation of promises spoken over you long before you could see them. My child, take hold of this eternal truth. I will restore the years that were consumed. Joel chapter 2 verse 25. I am not only restoring what was taken, I am restoring time itself, strength, clarity, dignity, joy, and peace. I return what was lost in multiplied form, far beyond your expectations. I am the God who rewrites what seemed irreparable, who rebuilds what appeared destroyed, who resurrects what looked finished. You will witness doors opening that once seemed permanently closed, relationships realigned according to purpose, opportunities returning with greater weight and significance. Those who doubted you will see. Those who mocked you will see. Those who tried to dim your light will see. And those who believed the pain had stolen your future will be astonished when they watch your restoration unfold. Nothing you lost remains without response. Nothing taken from you slips away from my sight. The restoration I bring is not symbolic, it is tangible, visible, undeniable. I am returning what the past devoured, what fear attempted to steal, what sorrow tried to bury. A new cycle begins, marked not by survival but by flourishing. A new chapter unfolds, filled with strength you did not know you had. This is the season of multiplied return. My beloved child, breathe deeply, for the moment is now, not later, not someday, but now. This is the moment when the weight you carried for so long begins to lift, when the heaviness on your mind gives way to clarity, and when your spirit rises with renewed strength. I take you by the hand and lead you out of the valley that once felt endless and into the mountain of victory I prepared for you. Do not fear the future, for I am already there. Do not cling to what I removed, for it no longer serves your journey. What once oppressed you now loses its power. What wounded you loses its hold. What paralyzed you loses its authority. From this day forward, you walk in new territory, territory of miracles, honor, restoration, and fulfilled promise. I cover you with my peace that surpasses understanding, clothe you with my spirit that strengthens, and seal you with my presence that never leaves. You will not lack. You will not fall. You will not be stopped. Every step you take will be accompanied by my guidance, every battle by my strength, every season by my grace. I am with you now, I will be with you tomorrow, and I will remain with you forever. My child, listen closely, for every moment you believed yourself small, unseen, or forgotten, I was shaping a stage far greater than anything you could have imagined. You have walked through valleys that tried to convince you it was the end, yet those very valleys became the pathways that led you into the light I prepared. Every humiliation, every closed door, every word spoken against you was silently transformed in my hands into a future filled with honor. What looked like your breaking was actually your breakthrough being formed. What seemed like silence was the preparation of a divine announcement. I surround you now with my presence so fully that even the wounds you once hid begin to breathe again. Feel this truth settle deep within your spirit. You were never abandoned, never forsaken, never overlooked. Your strength did not vanish, it was being refined. Your tears were not signs of weakness, they were seeds from which a stronger you would rise. And now I speak over you with power. Lift your head, for I am the one who calls you forward. You have not been wandering blindly, even in the seasons when confusion clouded your sight. I have been guiding every step, even those you thought were missteps. You are not lost, because you are held within the rhythm of my purpose. You are not forgotten, because you remain the focus of my care. Your perseverance, forged in silence, has caught my attention. Nothing you endured was wasted. Every battle, visible or hidden, carved a deeper capacity within you. The weight that once pressed you down has become the foundation upon which I now raise you. Before the eyes of those who doubted you, before the circumstances that crushed you, I lift you up. Not for applause, not for pride, but so the world may witness that my hand has always been upon you. Your victory will not be questioned, because it will not be born of mere effort but of my undeniable intervention. What once towered over you will now bow, as all impossibilities bend under the sound of my voice. When I speak, limitations crumble. When I breathe, the impossible shifts. Barriers dissolve, oceans part, and giants fall, not because of your strength alone, but because you walk under my authority. If these words stir something deep within you, it is because they are awakening what I placed in your spirit long before you faced your battles. You are stepping into a season where new beginnings rise from the ashes of what you thought was lost. You were chosen not because of perfection, but because of purpose. Promises you cannot yet see are already unfolding, written into your story before you could understand their meaning. Nothing about your life is accidental. I have written chapters that no human hand can erase, and none of them lead you to defeat. I carved your name not in dust, but in permanence, engraved upon my hands, held close to my heart. Where others gave up on you, I remained steadfast, preserving the gifts I placed within you. Your faith is a flame I have protected through every storm, and now it burns brighter than ever. Even when you felt extinguished, you were never without my breath upon you. I have reignited the spark within you, turning faint embers into a blaze that no darkness can swallow. Storms do not intimidate me, they create the perfect stage for my presence to be revealed. As a father shields his child in the midst of roaring winds, I have covered you in battles no one else saw. When your knees trembled, I upheld you. When your strength faded, I became your foundation. When your heart fractured, I became your comfort. When the world turned away, I wrapped you in my embrace. Those who opposed you will not determine your ending, for their voice is temporary, but mine is eternal. I am not merely securing victory for you, I am making it visible. Your ascent will be witnessed. Doors will open where walls once stood. Opportunities will bloom in places once barren. What others thought was your downfall will become the very place where my power is revealed. Your story will not be defined by the pain you endured, but by the transformation that followed. I am moving right now, this very moment, in ways you cannot yet see but will soon recognize. Nothing stands too tall for me. No adversary is too strong. No circumstance is too complex. The harvest you have long awaited approaches swiftly. Seeds planted in the dryness of disappointment will rise, surprising even those who never believed in your potential. What was once broken will blossom. What was once buried will rise in beauty. I specialize in turning impossibilities into testimonies that echo my glory. You were not created for defeat. You were formed for victory. I did not lift you so you would fall halfway. I strengthened you so you would finish with honor. Even when your faith was weary, it reached me. Even when your prayers were silent, they touched my heart. Today, my hand moves for you with force, with grace, with unstoppable precision. Every chain that held you is breaking now. Every spiritual weight that pressed against your soul loosens and falls away. What was locked is opening. What resisted is yielding. What tormented your mind is losing its grip. My peace surrounds you, not a peace reliant on circumstances, but one born from my presence alone. Your home will reflect what I am doing within you. Your family will witness transformation. Where there was instability, there will be foundation. Where there were fractures, there will be restoration. Your steps will lead to territory marked by victory. Your thoughts will be renewed. Your heart will regain strength. Your hope will rise with clarity and conviction. Nothing will obstruct what I have destined for you. I know every twist of your journey, every point where you almost surrendered, every night when your soul grew quiet beneath the weight of invisible battles. While others saw your controlled smile, I saw the war beneath it. Not one silent tear escaped my notice. Not one unspoken cry went unheard. I have held you, firmly, faithfully, lovingly. My hands never trembled, never wavered, never released their grip. Your journey has not been an accident. It has been intentional, shaped with precision. Every scar upon your heart is not a sign of weakness, but a symbol of survival. You carry strength forged in adversity. Every suffering that tried to break you only confirmed the resilience I placed within you before your first breath. When your legs weakened, my unseen arms upheld you. When your energy faded, you were lifted by grace you could not comprehend. When loneliness overshadowed you, I carried the weight that threatened to crush your spirit. While others misunderstood your silence, I listened to the prayers you could not articulate. Not a single word lost, not a single ache ignored. And now, as I move in your life, the very wounds that once caused you pain will become windows through which my glory is revealed. You will rise, not as the person who entered the storm, but as the one transformed by it. My beloved child, the story ahead of you is radiant. Nothing that tried to hinder you will survive the light I am bringing into your path. What was once confusion will become clarity. What was once heaviness will become strength. What was once despair will become testimony. You are stepping into a season where everything hidden within you, your purpose, your calling, your gifts, will emerge with power. The time of hiding is over. The time of rising has come. I have chosen you, defended you, shaped you, refined you. I have walked with you through every shadow, and now I guide you into a dawn that cannot be dimmed. Rest in me. Trust in me. I am not finished with your story. And what comes next will reveal why every tear, every battle, every silent night had meaning. You are loved beyond measure, lifted beyond expectation, and destined for a victory that nothing and no one can steal. When you came to the edge of your strength and felt the weight of life pressing against your chest, I was the quiet breath inside you whispering, "Do not surrender, there is still a path ahead." Every sigh you released carried prayers you didn't know how to form, and I gathered each one as precious offerings. You walked through valleys that seemed endless, believing that your tears were unnoticed, but I counted them one by one. Your story will never close on the chapter of pain, because I have already written a greater ending, one carved with victory, growth, and purpose. Nothing that wounded you escaped my sight, not the nights when your heart trembled with loneliness, nor the moments when betrayal cut deeper than any blade, nor those hours when you questioned your worth because of the cruelty of others. I have walked beside you in silence, not because I was absent, but because I was strengthening your spirit in ways words could not accomplish. The trials you endured did not diminish your value. Instead, they revealed the strength within you that you never realized you carried. What was meant to destroy you is becoming the very evidence of how powerful my hand has been over your life. Every injustice lifted against you was recorded in my heart. Every false word spoken about you, every abandonment, every moment you were devalued or misunderstood, none of it will remain unanswered. My justice is not fueled by anger but by divine wisdom, and it does not arrive with noise, but with authority no human can challenge. Those who tried to break your spirit believed they had the final say, but their judgment was never the one that defined your destiny. I do not forget the wounds inflicted on my children, and though my timing does not follow the clocks of men, it is perfect in every measure. When I move, there are no delays. When I act, there are no errors. When I restore, nothing remains incomplete. Your victory will not be hollow or rushed. It will be meaningful, profound, and undeniable. It will rise after the desert, after the tears, after the long nights when you believed the promise had expired. People doubted your strength because they could not see what I was building within you. They observed your faintness but never witnessed the divine reinforcement I placed behind your fragile moments. My glory is revealed not through the strong, but through those who surrender their weakness so my power can manifest. Others judged you by what their eyes could see, but I saw the depth of your essence. While they measured you by what you lacked, I treasured what was hidden inside your soul, your loyalty, your sensitivity, your resilience, your capacity to love even after being wounded. They looked at your steps and assumed you were lost, but each step was guided by my hand, even when the path was clouded or steep. When people questioned your ability, I saw the strength you had not yet discovered, the courage waiting to be awakened, the purpose ready to unfold. I do not select the strong, I strengthen the chosen. You were never overlooked, you were being shaped. Every season of silence was part of a greater preparation, every limitation was a tool forging endurance, every closed door was a redirection toward something far more worthy. You walked through confusion, but I walked with clarity. You walked through doubt, but I walked with certainty. You walked with fear, but I walked with promise. What others interpreted as your downfall was merely the stage where I formed you into someone far greater than they could imagine. You were set apart, not to be crushed, but to be refined. The fire that surrounded you was not meant to consume your life, but to purify your faith, making it stronger, deeper, and more precious. The weight that pressed against you was not designed to break you, it was stretching your capacity, preparing you to carry blessings of a magnitude you were not yet ready to sustain. When the doors closed, it was not punishment, it was protection. I was redirecting you away from places unworthy of your calling. When the path darkened, it was so you would learn to recognize my light even when every earthly certainty failed. As these words reach you now, my presence is filling every hidden corner of your heart. The memories that once felt like heavy stones are being lifted. The guilt you carried for years is dissolving beneath my forgiveness. The shame that tried to silence your voice is losing its power, replaced by a new identity, a renewed authority, and a strength that flows directly from my spirit. Your life will not be defined by what they did to you, but by what I am doing within you. Those who contributed to your wounds will not determine your destiny. They witnessed your fall, but they will also witness your rise. They mocked your struggle, but they will see your restoration. They doubted your faith, but they will recognize my faithfulness through your transformation. I am the potter who shaped you in the quiet, healing every crack with my own hands, gathering every broken fragment and reassembling it into something with greater purpose and beauty. When others thought your story was over, I was only beginning a work that will amaze even those closest to you. I do not remove battles from the path of my children, I empower them to walk through those battles with supernatural resilience. You were trained in adversity to reign in triumph. You were shaped in scarcity to flourish in abundance. Nothing you endured was wasted. Each experience, no matter how painful, contributed to the resilient person you have become. What you once perceived as limitations will soon reveal themselves as tools crafted to prepare you for the fullness that is coming. The challenges you faced were not barriers, they were the steps elevating you toward your greater purpose. Your story, with all its shadows and all its light, is becoming a beacon for others walking through similar valleys. Through you, they will learn that faith, even when trembling, can shift destinies, and hope is never in vain when placed in the hands of the one who holds eternity. Everything you faced served to anchor you more deeply in me, not in the fleeting words of men. The moments where you lost control were the very moments where you discovered I never lost it. Every delay, every disappointment, every closed chapter aligned with my perfect timing. When the world declared it too late, I declared, this is exactly the moment. When others insisted it was impossible, I whispered, this is where I begin. When they proclaimed your ending, I responded, I am not finished. Even as you read this, my hand is moving quietly yet powerfully. I am establishing walls of protection around your household, removing the influences that sought to disturb your peace, and sealing the fractures that once weakened your spirit. Breakthroughs are being released as these words touch your heart. Chains that seemed unbreakable are dissolving under my authority. What once held you captive no longer has the strength to contain you. Your mind is being renewed. Your heart is being restored. Your spirit is being lifted. And everything that once felt heavy is losing its grip because I am replacing your burdens with peace beyond understanding. You are stepping into a season where what was hidden will be revealed, where what was delayed will be accelerated, and where what seemed impossible will become your reality. Your life is not at a standstill, your transformation is unfolding even now. You are stepping into a new chapter, one marked not by what was taken from you, but by what I am placing into your hands. The storms that tested you are now the testimonies that will elevate you. The wounds that once felt unbearable are now the marks of someone who survived the fire and emerged purified. You are not the same person who walked into your struggles. You are stronger, wiser, deeper, and far more prepared for what is coming. Though you felt unnoticed, I was shaping you with intention. Though you felt abandoned, I was holding you closer than ever. Though you felt powerless, I was covering you with my authority. Everything aligns with purpose. Nothing has been random. And now, as the weight lifts and the road opens, you will feel the clarity you've longed for, the peace you've prayed for, and the fulfillment of promises that seemed distant. This is not the end. This is your beginning, rising from the ashes, clothed with strength, guided by my hand, and ready to step into the victory prepared for you since the very first day you whispered my name. My beloved child, listen closely, for what I am about to speak is being woven directly into the core of your spirit. You have carried storms that no one else saw, storms that roared inside your mind and attempted to imprison you in thoughts that were never meant to define you. Yet even when fear tried to whisper lies into your heart, I was the one silencing those voices one by one. The unrest that once consumed you is gradually surrendering to a peace that only comes from my presence, an unshakable calm that fills places where anxiety once ruled. You are not the sum of your past wounds, nor are you controlled by the shadows that tried to cling to your soul. Every weight you drag behind you is losing its power over your present. The fear that once predicted defeat is being drowned out by the authority of my voice declaring victory over you. I have placed myself in front of you as an unbreakable shield, not only to defend you, but to ensure that nothing formed against you can remain standing. Those who plotted to see you fall will witness the strength of my hand lifting you higher than they ever imagined. Those who attempted to dim your light will see it shine with a brilliance no darkness can smother. What was designed to be a trap for your destruction is transforming into a stage for your liberation. What was meant to break you will soon become the very evidence of my power working within your life. No word of curse sent toward you will ever take root, for what I bless cannot be touched by the intentions of others. No opposing voice will ever silence the future I have established for you. I am the God who speaks, and when I release my word, nothing remains where it stood. The unseen world shifts, the earth responds, and every detail aligns itself to my purpose. While you believed you were forgotten in the shadows, I was constructing a victory so undeniable that even your enemies will be forced to acknowledge that my hand has been upon you all along. Your exaltation will not be hidden. What I am preparing will be visible for all to see. I want those who doubted you, those who underestimated you, and those who dismissed your potential to witness the transformation I am bringing forth. Not because I need to prove myself to them, but because my glory will shine even brighter through the chapters of your restoration. Your journey will leave footprints of faith upon the earth. Where there once were ashes of disappointment, I will bring forth beauty that flourishes beyond explanation. Where your steps wandered through deserts of loneliness, I will cause rivers of life to flow again. I am turning your shame into double honor, your weakness into a foundation of strength, and everything that once seemed insignificant will expand into something far greater than you ever imagined. Your faith, small as it once felt, will fuel the extraordinary that is coming. I have not forgotten a single promise spoken over your life. Every word I have ever whispered into your soul is still alive, still active, still unfolding. It does not matter how much time has passed, because my word never expires. It does not weaken. It does not fade. Whatever I have declared over you will come to pass, and nothing in this world can stop it or interrupt its timing. Even when everything around you seemed motionless, when it felt like your prayers vanished into silence, I was moving in ways you could not see. I was arranging connections, shaping opportunities, realigning paths, and preparing breakthroughs beyond the reach of human interference. Doors that were sealed shut for years will open with such magnitude that people will have no choice but to confess that my hand is behind it. What once seemed improbable will unfold with such clarity that it will become undeniably inevitable. The story of your life is shifting in tone, your sorrow is giving way to testimony, your tears are making room for genuine joy, and what once oppressed your heart is being replaced with the weight of my glory resting upon you. My hand does not merely act, it transforms, elevates, readjusts, rebuilds, and rewrites what seemed permanent. I am preparing something so vast and so profound for you that one day you will look back and understand why certain pains had to be endured, why certain delays were necessary, and why certain people could not accompany you into the place I am taking you. So stand firm, my child, and lift your eyes. You are stepping into a divine unfolding that will reveal my faithfulness in ways you never imagined. Do not fear the unknown, for I am already there preparing the ground beneath your feet. Do not doubt what is coming, for I am the one orchestrating every detail. You are entering a season of release, breakthrough, and undeniable transformation. The victories you are about to experience will not be subtle. They will be unmistakable, seen, felt, and acknowledged by all who witness your journey. Your story will no longer be marked by sorrow but by glory. You will rise not by your own strength, but by mine. And as you move forward, you will understand that every trial, every delay, every tear, and every unanswered question was guiding you toward this very moment. I am with you. I am for you. And I am leading you into the future I designed with love, intention, and purpose. With love, God. I hope this message has been an inspiration to you. If it touched your heart, write Amen in the comments and share it with someone who also needs to hear this word. I invite you to click on the first comment, where you will find a special prayer and a suggestion to strengthen your spiritual journey. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to receive more inspiring content like this. See you tomorrow.